I have had a career-ending tangle, as my brother would call it, so I'm pretty much in for a full retie of my tippet and flies. But I thought it would be useful to just quickly show you how I rigged my Euro setup from my Euro fly line to the flies. So, as I said, I've got a Euro reel and I've got a Euro fly line. I started doing a little bit of competition fishing, not so much for the competition's sake, but to learn, and it's been a great environment for me to learn. I learned a huge amount about lake fishing, and I thought I was decent at rivers until I saw most of these guys fish, and yeah, it didn't go so well initially, but I'm getting better at it. Done a couple of Euro Nymphing clinics and bits and pieces, and yeah, so I'm fishing to competition rules, which means your total leader setup can only be maximum 2 rod lengths. In this case, I'm fishing a 10'6" rod. So what I've got a Euro fly line, which is just a level, flat, thin fly line, which makes things easier to handle, and you have to have that for competitions. And you also have that, in fishing game. You have to have a fly line, but in fishing game regions, you don't have to have, there's no set maximum tippet length, so a lot of people just put a lot of leader on. But a lot of the competition guys, including me, like to handle the fly line a bit more for mending and controlling your line than just straight nylon. And anyway, in the competitions you aren't allowed to just have straight nylon or one of mono reel. Anyway, so for my Euro fly line, there you have to attach your leader to the Euro line, and this is an important connection because it goes through the guides a lot. There's 2 main favorite methods that a lot of the comp guys use, and that's a micro loop, which you can tie with a bit of fly tying thread and some glue. You can make a tiny loop and just tie it in, and that goes through the guys reasonably well, and you can just tie that in. The other way is a super glue splice, which you thread the line up the inside of the braid and super glue it on. Both of these methods work well with braided core fly lines. I have never used the monocore Euro line, so I don't know what the options are there. What I tend to do is I strip back a section of the coating and just have the braid exposed, and then I do a back-to-back uni with my knot, and that creates a very small, easy knot that goes through the guides. And the benefit for me for that is I can very quickly replace any broken bits. If you accidentally cut off your micro loop like I've done in the past, then on the river, if your leader breaks, you have a real problem. But I can very quickly retie and fix this knot, which I'm going to do now because I have broken so much stuff. So I'm just going to redo the knot because I've had a lot of pulling on it, and it's going to break. So what I do is I just strip a section of the core, and fairly simple. Okay, too much pressure in front of the camera, and I broke the knot before, so it didn't quite work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 uni knots back to back, one in the braided section over the fly line, 2, 3 turns, and then I'm just gently going to slide that down to just off the end of the line, so that the knot is not on the coating. Now I'm going to do a uni knot on the tippet, capturing the fly line, so that you end up with a back-to-back uni knot. And I keep both knots loose now so that I can slide them together over the coating. If you tighten it too early, then the whole thing fails. Keep it all wet and very gently slide it down. Now before you tighten anything, you need to tighten the braid end so that it captures that knot, otherwise it will slide through. And then you slide that down and you tighten the 2 together, and there you end up with a very strong back-to-back uni, and everything's tight, so you can snip off the tips, the tag ends very close, and you don't have an issue. It works very well. What I will say is leave a little bit of a tag end on the braided section, because that can slip. But you can always like not use knot sense, loon knot sense or something like that to lock it in, or a bit of dab of super glue to really lock it in if you want. But I like that knot. It's extremely thin and still goes easily through the guides and has not yet broken on me. So very good. And then from there I have got a rod length and a half of my sighter leader material, which in this case, whatever thickness you are comfortable with. I am trying to, for the competitions, learning to fish micro leaders, so this is a 0.18. I think I'm slowly going down. It's 4x, and I mean the fish here generally tends to be big, so I will eventually learn to fish with 5x. And then so now I'm going to put on the rod length and a half of the sighted material tippet. It's just, I'm going to put another half a rod length, so total about 5 foot of tippet. And this is going to be, find my 5x. Oh, I have my tippet, my 5x. Come on, why does this, what happened? Okay, there we go. This is 5x, so it's about 5x. This is Airflo tactical, just nylon tippet. When I practice, I just use so much tippet. I prefer nylon stuff anyway. In fact, I've fished competitions with it too. So damn expensive otherwise. But a lot of the competition guys use trout hunter because it's the diameters are true and whatnot. But I mean, I'm not trying to win too many competitions. I'm trying to learn as much as I can. So what I do here is you can either use the 310 surgeon's knot or to join it, or a figure of 8 knot, which I have learned recently, and it's very nice to use and easy to do that, and to create dropper tags as well. So you just twist it and then it creates that figure of 8, wet it, and it's a very strong connection. And someone has a video on it. I think it might be Tactical Fly Fisher has a video on the figure of 8 knot, and it's been really quite good. Because one of the nice things is you can attach dropper tags anywhere in your tippet with it, so you can have a fixed length and then come up from that, because the lengths in the competitions are quite specific about how far flies need to be apart and stuff. So there, I've got about that. Now I'm going to attach my dropper tag to that. But if I wanted to, I could attach that just up here or wherever, but I'm going to attach it to the end. And another, so the competition minimum is 50 centimeters, but that will probably do 3 feet. No, 3 feet is a meter, so 1.5, 2 feet or whatever it is. And just find the end there, leave enough for your tag. Again, double it up. You just create a loop, pinch it, 1, 2, and pull it through, and then tighten it, wet it, and there you've got your dropper tag, and you can snip that bit off, tag end off. You always use the down part of the line. And now I'll attach my flies. So I'm just going to attach that again. This is just a formal tungsten bead here in copper with red thread. That's all it is, on a jig hook. This is a Hanak Jig Superb trophy, I think, or just the Hanak Jig Superb, I can't remember. But great hooks. This will be a size 14 with a formal bead. I think, yeah, size 14 or size 12, but with a formal bead. And then I use a double davy knot or whatever knot you want to use to attach your flies. I'm using 2 currently, but it's common to use 1 as well. I've actually been using a lot of single flies of late. Lighter flies, trying to learn that. And in this case, I'm going to put a smaller, very simple horn-cased caddis with a gold bead on the end there. And try that. And then the beauty of the system is you can change flies and weights very regularly, so you change a lot depending on water depths and stuff like that. So anyway, we're going to move up very soon. So Jesus lost another fish out of here, and we're going to move up. So anyway, I hope that was useful. Anyway, and we'll get back to the fishing. So yeah, that's my Euro Nymphing setup currently.